AITA for not making my new grandkid a homemade blanket and not giving her one already made. My son remarried around 6 months ago, and my new DIL already had a daughter named Becky. Becky is 10 and overall is a sweet girl. When each of the grandkids were born, I made a big blanket for all of them, the size of twin bed. I spent a lot of time and effort on all of them. I know most of the kids still use them often. Theo, last one I made was 6 years ago, and I struggled to make it. My son asked me to make a blanket for Becky. I told him no because of my arthritis in my hands, and I have trouble sewing now. He asked if I would be willing to give her the one that I made for his sister child. My daughter had a stillbirth, so the blanket was never used. I told him no, that blanket was meant for someone else, and it feels real shitty to give to someone it wasn't intended for. I thought that was the end of it, but I got a call from my DIL, and she was pissed. She claims I am not seeing her kid as my grandkid, and I should be stepping up. I told her I can't make a blanket, and she told me to give the old one her daughter. I told her no. She is pissed, and I am kinda pissed. My son told me to just give her the blanket or I won't see the kids. My parents, 58F, 62M, moved to live closer to my sister, 33F, and now they're upset. I, 28M, won't make sure they see my kids. I, 28M, always felt like my parents heavily favored my sister, 33F, to me, but I tried to have a good relationship with my family regardless. My sister and I are okay, but we were simply never that close to each other, and we're distant as adults. When we all lived close together, my wife, 28F, and I would invite my parents over for dinner a couple of times a month, and we made an effort to be close to them. My sister and her husband, 40M, didn't make the same effort, and my parents always said it was understandable because they had kids. This will come up in a minute. My sister and her husband moved out of state 2 years ago, and my parents decided to follow them. They had a lot of steps taken for the move before they told me anything. My wife was pregnant with our oldest at the time, and my parents didn't seem to care that they would be out of state when their grandchild was born. For me, it was a sign to drop the rope, and I did. Now my wife and I have 2 children together, and my parents are going crazy because they have never met my kids, and they have no relationship with my kids. They have called a few times and asked why I haven't made the effort to take the kids to see them, and I told them I'm busy with young kids, and it should be understandable that I would not be able to make the effort. They asked what that was meant to mean, and I said it was understandable when my sister couldn't make time for them when they lived 10 minutes from each other, so it should be understandable that we couldn't make the time or do the travel with young kids. My parents asked me to stop being petty, and they lectured me on the importance of grandparents for kids and close family relationships. I said if they cared they would make the effort, and I left it there. They have tried to follow up several times since, but I refuse to engage. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, so that's why I'm here. I'll take advice on shutting this down for good or opening the conversation back up or whatever people think I should do. My coworker has been stealing my lunch for 3 months, and when I finally caught her, she told me I should take it as a compliment. I work in a mid-sized office, and for the past 3 months I kept noticing my lunch was either gone or partially eaten when I went to get it from the break room fridge. I meal prep on Sundays. It takes me 2 hours because I have a specific dietary restriction and can't just grab something. Every week. Gone. Duck. I assumed it was a mistake at first. I put a sticky note with my name on it. Still happened. I started putting my lunch in a bag with my name written in marker on every single container. Still happened. I mentioned it to my manager vaguely and got a generic, "Please label your food" email sent to the whole office. Cool. Very helpful. Last Tuesday, I came in early and set up my phone propped behind a coffee machine to record. Sure enough, at 11:47 a.m., I watched my coworker Sandra, who I sit next to, and say good morning to every single day, open the fridge, pull out my clearly labeled lunch, smell it, shrug, and walk off with it. I confronted her calmly. I said, "Sandra, I saw you take my lunch. That's been happening for months and it's not okay." You know what she said? She smiled and told me I was a really good cook and that I should take it as a compliment. Then she walked away. I went straight to HR. I had the video. I had 3 months of documented instances I'd quietly been keeping track of in my notes app. HR was actually shocked. Apparently Sandra had a prior written warning for the exact same thing at this company 2 years ago that I didn't know about. She's been put on a final written warning. She asked to reimburse me for the estimated cost of the stolen lunches. HR asked me to calculate it. It came to $340. She had to formally apologize to me in front of HR, which was the most satisfying 4 minutes of my professional life. Professional life. She still sits next to me and hasn't spoken to me since, which, honestly, perfect. I will meal prep in peace. ETA, for everyone asking, yes, I did label my food. No, I did not eat smelly food. No, I don't think I drove her to it by making food that looked too good. She is a grown adult who made a choice for 3 months straight. The compliment thing is not a personality quirk. It is deranged. That time I showed a photo of my DX to a cop. Context: I was out in my city, and I was taking a walk around with my roommate. While passing through the main square of the city, we both witnessed a movie-like chase where 3 police officers managed to corner a guy who was probably dealing nearby. I had never seen anything like that involving law enforcement before, so I decided to tell my girlfriend about it live by sending her a WhatsApp voice message. So I raised my phone to record the voice message, but then something happened. On the other side of the street, exactly where they had cornered the guy, a young policeman noticed I had my phone in my hand and shouted at me, "Hey, what are you doing?" I froze, confused. I didn't process it. I just stood there, looking at him, thinking he couldn't possibly be talking to me. After 3 seconds, I saw him running toward me, still shouting, "What are you doing?" I got seriously scared, so I stretched my arms out toward him, without touching him, and went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, calm down." From that moment on, the conversation went more or less like this. The police officer starts, I'm the second person. The dialogue alternates. "What are you doing? Did you make a video?" I didn't make any video. I was sending a voice message to my girlfriend. "Go to your gallery immediately and delete the video." In front of me. At that moment, I got embarrassed. Why, you may ask? Well, I remembered perfectly well that the last photo I had taken was a photo of my dit cake that I had sent to my girlfriend. I wasn't afraid. I don't mince words. If there's something embarrassing to say, I say it. The damage was already done. Look, I'm not joking, but the last photo is a photo of my DK. I don't care. Delete that video immediately. He didn't hesitate. For him, in that gallery, there was that video. Except, that video didn't exist. A non-video. So I humored him. I opened the gallery. I showed him the latest media. I opened it. He saw it. He stood there for about 2 or 3 seconds, maybe to process what he was seeing. Then he closed his eyes and looked away from the phone. "Get out of here." So we left. I was crying with laughter. My roommate was too. All in all, it was a pretty great evening. TIFU by accidentally wiping with disinfectant wipes. For context, I am completely blind and have been since 2016. I'm using a screen reader to type this before anyone asks LOL. My boyfriend is a fucking moron. The other day, I sent him to CVS to grab me some baby wipes, because toilet paper is an absolute disaster when you can't see. I was genuinely excited to finally have wipes again, so the second he got home, I marched straight to the bathroom to handle business. Afterward, I opened the pack and immediately noticed they smelled weird and felt different than the ones I usually use. But since my boyfriend has fully functioning eyeballs, I stupidly assumed he had managed to buy the correct thing and figured maybe they were just a different brand. So I proceeded to wipe my ass and vulva with them, for TW days. Then suddenly, my labia started burning like Satan himself had reached out to touch it. And somehow, I still didn't suspect the wipes. Thankfully, my roommate walked into the bathroom the next day while I was peeing so she could brush her teeth. When I finished, I reached for another wipe and she practically lunged across the room to stop me. Horrified, she snatched the pack out of my hand and informed me that I had been wiping my coochie with disinfecting wipes. Fucking wipes. Fucking wipes. Apparently my boyfriend saw wipes and said, "Yep, that's probably close enough." I was shocked, furious, and utterly humiliated. Thankfully, everything is fine now. My kitty cat is feeling much better, and my roommate and I ended up having a good laugh about the entire situation. But I really think this man needs supervised shopping privileges from now on. TLDR, my blind ass trusted my boyfriend to buy baby wipes. He accidentally bought disinfecting wipes instead. I used them on my vulva for 2 days before my roommate caught me. My coochie briefly entered the gates of hell. Edit, I swear some of y'all in the comments are seriously lacking in the common sense department. No, I did not read the package. Hard to do when you're blind. No, I did not wipe my anus and then my vagina with the same wipe. Being blind doesn't make you a fucking animal. No, my boyfriend did not buy disinfectant wipes on purpose because he thinks my vagina stinks. I shower every single day. Jesus Christ, people. Are we really that dense? AITA for humiliating my ex's new girlfriend in front of our friend group. Posting from my inactive account because I have some friends lurking in my main one. I, 22F, broke up with my boyfriend 24M around 8 months ago. We decided to mutually call it quits, and parted in pretty good terms, which is good, because we just so happen to share a friend group. After a rough patch, I decided to start taking a bit more care of myself, eating better, going to the gym, going to therapy. The shift was pretty evident, both in my attitude and the way I look. My friends said I looked much happier and healthier, and I began gaining confidence little by little. Now, I am a huge nerd. I play D weekly. I have thousands of hours in Stellaris, and most relevant to the story, I like to cosplay as a hobby. Most of my old cosplay involved characters that don't show their face or body too much. Hornet from Hollow Knight, Mono from Little Nightmares, etc. But since I'd been feeling more confident, I decided that for the big con in my city, I'd like to try something different. A friend convinced me of going as Viper and Chamber from Valorant, so for the past 6 months we've been pouring most of our free time into the cosplays. 3 weeks ago, I sent a picture of me wearing the cosplay to the group chat asking for feedback for the final details. My ex immediately DM'd me asking me to please not wear that cosplay to the con because it might make his new girlfriend uncomfortable. I asked what about it would make her uncomfortable, but he refused to elaborate. I knew he was dating someone new, but I didn't know she was coming with us to the con. I tried to explain to him this was the work of months, and I couldn't just throw it all away just because a girl I'd never met felt uncomfortable about it. In the end, I wore it to the con, and it was a huge success. I tried to keep my distance from the larger chunk of our group because my ex and his new girl were with them, but we did spend a good part of the day with them. Throughout the whole thing, the new girl kept making snide comments at me and laughing whenever I got asked to pose for pictures. Everyone looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. After leaving the con to have dinner though, another friend asked the new girl if she wouldn't like to try cosplay as well. Her answer was, "Why would I need more attention from guys? I already have a boyfriend, I'm not a slut." I snapped and told her to stop acting like a pick-me bitch just because I got attention all day. She started to cry immediately. My ex steps in, asking me to apologize. I tell him I'll only do it if she apologizes for the way she's been acting around me all day. More and more of our friends start to join the screaming match, and it gets so bad we end up getting kicked out of the restaurant. It's been 5 days, and my ex is threatening to leave the friend group if I don't apologize. I honestly wouldn't care if he did, but some of our friends are asking me to do so to stop him from leaving. Should I cave? AITA? AITA for refusing to publicly thank my neighbor for saving my cat? When I was bringing in groceries on Monday, somehow my cat managed to ran out into the hallway, and I noticed it only 20 minutes later. I checked every floor, possible place, posted in building chat, put up 2 fast-made flyers by mailboxes and elevator. 0 sings of it. After I walked around building until almost midnight, basically looked everywhere and continued my search on a day 2. On Wednesday evening, neighbor posted photo of my cat and I immediately went to her. When I asked how did they find it, she said her kids had saw cat by stairwell last night. I was glad my cat wasn't out on street, thanked them much for letting it to stay, and also offered some money for help. But one thing alarmed me. She said kids had already attached a cat and they were discussing whether to keep it if no one comes for her. I asked how that could possibly be, since my message had been in chat since Monday night and flyer had been hanging by elevator all day. She admitted seeing my post, but said she was busy these 2 days and wanted to make sure before messaging me. TBH, this sounded sketchy, as flyer had cat photo and my number on it. In the end, I picked up cat and just said that next time, it's better to check everything right away when you find a lost animal. Later, she asked me to thank her for rescue in chat, because several neighbors had asked why she hadn't responded to me sooner. I wrote cat is home and thanked everyone for helping look for him. Yesterday when I saw her, she was annoyed and said I made her look like a cat thief even though she helped. I said it's hard for me to call it a rescue when I spent a whole day looking for my pet and she saw my message and didn't say anything. AITA? TIFU by responding to my girlfriend's sexy photos with a meme. My girlfriend and I have the exact same kind of shitpost sense of humor. We are constantly sending each other dumb memes over text, quoting them in real life, and replying to even mundane messages with them. From the outside, it definitely is cringy, and it probably doesn't sound like we take the relationship seriously, but we've been doing great for 4 years now, living together for 1, and I'm planning to propose to her on our 5th anniversary. But fast forward to last evening, and I think acting like normal may have seriously offended her. I've been out of town for almost a week helping my brother move across the country, and also celebrating our parents' anniversary in his new city while we're at it. GF and I have obviously been texting back and forth when I have time, and the conversations are as casual as they always are. The conversation even got a little bit spicy as we've been apart for a week and we're getting a little lonely. Needless to say, I'm excited to eventually get back home. Even more so when she surprised me late in the evening with about a dozen images of a gift she got for me, a very nice set of lingerie. It wasn't a quick mirror selfie either. She had full makeup on, her hair done up, and even mood-appropriate lighting. I was hella excited, but out of habit I grabbed a gift from my reaction folder and sent it without thinking. A few minutes later and she replies with, "Can you take something fucking seriously for once?" 24 hours later and she won't respond to my attempts at apology and even ignored 2 calls. I feel like an asshole, and I'm worried I damaged our relationship or made her feel like I'm not seriously invested in us. I want to do something really romantic for her when I get back, but I'm scared that it's already too late. TLDR, my girlfriend and I joke constantly, so I responded to her high-effort sexy photos with a meme gif, and now she's completely ignoring me and I'm scared that I damaged our relationship. TIFU by learning some Hindi and insulting a scam caller. Now I can't use my phone. I've been getting a metric shit ton of spam calls like many of you, but this week has been absolutely insane, and I think it's my fault for kicking the hornet's nest. I am up to 70 please scam calls a day. I learned some Hindi swear words from a friend and chose to curse one out a few days ago back when the call list was shorter. It was fun for me, baiting scammers. I would get to the part where they questioned me about my Medicare. After the AI portion transferring please wait and just you unleash with Madarchad, Bihinchad, etc. I don't feel bad about it, they scammers. Boy was that a mistake. Just a day after, I started getting a call. Then another. Then two more. All with my area code, with different preceding numbers, all spoofed with VoIP software. All asking about my Medicare part, A and AMP, B. I'm in my 30s and work for a defense contractor lol. The worst part is that I can't even use a call filter because the numbers are all individually spoofed, so the legwork for blocking all of them would be blocking 999 different combinations of would-be number neighbors. I'm only allowed 6 prefix to block. Even if that was physically possible, I have quite a few contacts with my area code, so it would be in vain. I'm at my wit's end, but I guess it goes to show to let scammers lie. I spend all day on the phone with Verizon, and they cannot assist me without me changing my number. I've gotten 3 while typing this. Not fully blaming myself, as it's not me doing the scamming, but I definitely played a part. TL Doctor learned Hindi to curse out scammers for fun. Now I'm getting 100 spoofed calls a day, and the only course of action is to change my number. TIFU by accidentally flirting with a customer. I, 24, work retail, and have a script that I follow pretty much every time I interact with a customer. When I approach them, I say, "Is there something I can help you find today?" If they respond with a no, I will reply with, "Okay, well, if that changes, just let me know." So today I walked up to a woman and asked her if there was something I could help her find. She responded by saying, "No, I'm with him," and pointed towards her boyfriend as he was walking to the bathroom. I respond with my automatic script that I use with virtually every customer and say, "Okay, if that changes, just let me know." She didn't respond, and I ran away immediately, and we didn't speak again. It doesn't help that I am a mask-presenting woman and look very, very gay, which I am. I called my girlfriend and confessed my sins, and she thought it was absolutely hilarious. If anyone could make me feel better in the comments by telling their own story of when they misspoke to make me feel better, that would be greatly appreciated. TLDR. My automatic retail script ended in me telling a woman that if she broke up with her boyfriend, then to let me know.